Hey, everybody on here. And, I really wanted to be outside to film. It has been hectic. It's been crazy. I'm coming off of a 3-day expo that I've been at in Denver, Colorado. And the schedule just continues to be hectic right now from the road. So unfortunately, I wasn't going to get to film outside this month, but hopefully as next month comes around, I'll be able to do that for you. Time's just a bit short and a lot of hours driving down the road and getting to places. So it's a little bit tight right now. But anyways, I wanted to get this video out and I wanted to talk this month about the power of a conscious mind and heart. And this is going to be so important for us, especially as 2023 is coming in. And I wanted to get this out because of things that I hear around the internet right now, things that I hear from people just in general when I'm interacting with them, and based on what's coming in 2023. Because what we have is, I find there's a lot of pent up anger for people. There's a lot of this just frustration of things not coming together faster, of corruption that's going on in the world, or whatever it is. The aggravations are there, and I see people's irritation level rising and rising and rising. And some of the phrases that I hear are, I just wish they would go to hell. They could just go to hell. And it's one of those things that intellectually we always know it in our mind, but we don't always stop and think about it. And the words start to come out and the phrases start to come out. And before we know it, we know that words and powers and thoughts and feelings, they all have incredible power behind them. So I want to bring this reminder out because when we're living in a world where there is a lot of division going on, there's a lot of attempts to divide people, separate people, pull them apart from each other, get them into arguments, and to just really break up the unity, break up the peacefulness. And in the midst of that, it stirs up this anger, it stirs up hate among people. And obviously, as spiritual beings, as people who are trying to live in the soul self, we don't want to be in that hate. And I think most people, they really want to learn how to step into this unconditional love. They really want to move more and more into that space where they are embracing living through unconditional love, receiving it, giving it, all of those great components that go with it. And this is actually tied into the codes that we have happening for October 22nd, because some of the key parts of those codes involve increasing spiritual presence in the world, connection, coming from unconditional love, developing positive relationships, planning for many possibilities, but attaching to none, being a positive influence in the world, having patience, and bringing divine principles into the world. So that really tied in to something I had already been thinking about for this video, which really connected this component of all of this hate I hear people exploring. And so when we get into these angers and these frustrations, and we start seeing people and they're making these wishes of, I wish they would go to hell, I wish they would do this, I wish those people would be abolished, I wish this, I wish that, and they're trying to just really get rid of something that they're not comfortable with, something that they don't like. But the real power is in transmuting that energy. And if we are here to create light, if we are here to generate divine presence in the world and to increase spiritual presence in the world and to increase the energy of God in the world, then we need to not wish those things on people. What we want to do instead is we want to think, I wish those people could stand in the light. Because imagine it, imagine somebody like a Bill Gates, imagine somebody like any world leader out there anybody in a position of power and influence. Imagine if their power and influence was being used for the light. Imagine if it was being used under divine principles. Imagine if it was being used to further the well-being of our planet, genuinely and truly, not through agendas, motives, and narratives, and all of those other pieces. Imagine if they were coming from unconditional love. So I want you to contemplate that. I want you to think about that. I want you to start implementing that in your day-to-day life and ask for them to be brought into the light. When you feel that anger come up, when you feel that frustration come up, when you feel the patience come up, instead of saying, oh, they can all just go to hell, they can all just, whatever. Stop yourself and go, no, that's not what I want, because I don't want to feed the energy of hell. I don't want to feed that power. And every time I wish somebody to go there, that's what I'm doing. I'm feeding that energy. I'm not feeding God's energy. I'm feeding that energy. I want them to go into the embrace of divine love. I want them to go into the arms of God. I want them to go into the divine light. I want them to go and embrace the true essence of their soul self. So when we start to redirect this energy, we start to change our world. And this is important in a world where we have this division, where we have so much trying to separate us, where we have so much trying to pull us out of spirit, out of light, out of divinity, away from God, if God is your source, where we have so much pulling us out of this. We need to be doing everything that we can to strengthen that divine presence, divine principles, God energy. We need to be strengthening the spiritual presence, the love, the unconditional love. So I hope you're going to work with that. I hope you'll take that to heart, because every time you wish, we think it's okay because somebody's done something bad in the world. But you know what? A lot of that has come about because they haven't ever been brought into the light. And because they've already spent time there. So where do you think they got some of those things? We need to move them away from that so that they can exhibit the light. This is part of transmutation. This is part of making the big shifts. This is part of how we shift and change the energy and bring it into something that can be useful for us. When you wish that hate onto somebody else, when you wish for them to go to hell, you're wishing that for yourself. And this is where we trip ourselves up a lot in very subtle ways. When we start cursing people, things like that. And then we bring that on ourselves and we wonder, why did this bad thing happen to us? Why didn't this work out? Why wasn't this going wrong? So stop yourself. The next time you're ready to go into that hate space, the next time you feel that coming up, and even if it does come up and you say that, stop yourself and say, nope, that's not what I wish. That's not what I want. I want this person to reside in God's arms. I want this person to reside in divine embrace. I want this person to stand in unconditional love. I want to see their energy used for the well-being of humanity. We have the power within us. We overlook these subtle things each and every day. We take them for granted. We dismiss them as nothing, as we're just venting. But these are the things, even if you go into a biblical aspect or most religions, we use these words in the vanity in vain, when we use the profanity and we use things in vain, we're creating that, we're supporting it. And we're not, it's not just a joke. So take the time, catch yourself, try to be conscious. Be conscious of where your mind is, be conscious of where your heart is, pay attention to what your feelings are. And when you start wishing these things, are you wishing it from unconditional love, from a caring for somebody to really move them out of that so-called evil, the materialism, into the divinity, into the Christ energy? Are you clearing your mind? It's a powerful tool. It's a simple tool. It's a basic thing, but we've got to implement it. And we are in for being triggered much, much more in 2023. So start practicing it now so that you can be ready and that you can take hold and you can help to be a shift in our world. And you can help these people who are operating in these spaces of agendas and implementing destructive things that are harmful and hateful. And you can help to shift them away from that energy. That is the essence of unconditional love, is providing love for your enemy, enough love for your enemy that you don't wish them to go back to what created them to be that way, but that you wish for them to stand in divine essence and light. Hopefully that is valuable to you, helpful to you, and I wish you all a wonderful month of October and the fall season, and I will be back with you at the end of October. Take care, everyone.